You've probably had moments where you're talking to someone and everything appears perfectly normal, yet something quietly feels off, almost like the flow is interrupted, even if you can't explain why. These small moments matter more than we think. Most people don't realize it, but subtle patterns in the way we speak can gently push others away without us ever noticing. Carl Jung believed that the shadow reveals itself not only in major emotional reactions, but also in the tiny, everyday behaviors we overlook. And conversation is one of its favorite places to hide. Today we're going to explore 5 surprisingly common habits that silently create distance in your relationships, and simple conscious shifts that can make every interaction warmer, smoother, and more meaningful. First habit, turning every story back to yourself. Someone opens up about their day, their struggle, or something they're excited about. And before you even realize it, you jump in with your own story. You're not trying to steal the spotlight. In your mind, you're relating, connecting, showing that you understand. But to the other person, it can feel like their moment suddenly became a platform for you. It leaves them feeling a little unheard, a little overshadowed. This habit often comes from an unconscious need to stay in control of the conversation. Jung would say it's a subtle form of ego inflation. We don't mean to make it about us, but a part of us feels safer when we're steering the narrative. The intention is connection, but the result is disconnection. To shift this, try something simple but powerful. When someone shares something with you, pause. Ask at least one meaningful follow-up question before bringing up your own experience. Let them feel that their world has space in the conversation. That small moment of curiosity tells them, I'm here for you, I'm listening, and that alone can transform the way people experience you. Second habit, overanalyzing people's words or intentions. Sometimes when someone speaks, you can't help but read between the lines. You dissect their tone, their pauses, the exact words they used, and your mind begins to spin a story about what they really meant. Maybe you think they're criticizing you, questioning your choices, or hiding something. While this level of attentiveness may feel like care or insight, to the other person, it often comes across as judgmental or distrustful. They can sense the scrutiny, even if you don't intend it, and it creates subtle tension. Carl Jung would say this is projection in action, our own insecurities and fears coloring how we perceive others. The shadow shows up not through what they do, but through what we assume they mean. When we project, we risk seeing problems where none exist, and unintentionally push people away. The solution is surprisingly simple, but requires mindfulness. Respond to what was actually said, not to the story your mind is spinning. Listen fully, seek clarification if needed, and resist the urge to interpret hidden motives. By grounding yourself in what is real, you make conversations feel safe, open, and comfortable, and people naturally want to be around someone who listens without judgment. Third habit, complaining too often without self-reflection. Everyone vents sometimes, it's human. But when complaining becomes a constant pattern, conversations start to feel heavy, draining, and even exhausting for the people around you. Sharing frustrations can build connection, but only when it's balanced with awareness and self-reflection. Without it, venting often comes across as seeking validation rather than solving a problem. Leaving others feeling stuck in your negativity, Carl Jung believed that the unintegrated shadow uses negativity to demand attention. When we repeatedly complain without examining our own role or seeking insight, we're unconsciously asking others to absorb and affirm our discontent. It's not about them, it's about a hidden part of ourselves needing recognition. The fix is simple. Balance complaints with perspective. If you need to express frustration, pair it with reflection, small solutions, or even gratitude. Show that you're aware, learning, and moving forward. When you do this, your conversations shift from emotionally heavy to constructive, and people feel energized, inspired, and genuinely connected when they talk with you. Fourth habit, offering unsolicited advice. It's natural to want to help. When someone shares a problem, your instinct might be to offer solutions, tips, or guidance. But when this advice is unasked for, it can come across as controlling, superior, or even belittling. The person sharing may feel unheard, dismissed, or as if their own judgment isn't trusted. Even the kindest intentions can have the opposite effect when advice is imposed rather than invited. From a Jungian perspective, this is often a reflection of the helper persona, a way the shadow disguises a need for control as caring. Instead of truly supporting, we unintentionally assert dominance, shaping the conversation around our own solutions rather than honoring the other person's experience. The key to breaking this habit is simple. Pause and ask before responding. Questions like, would you like advice? Or would you prefer someone just to listen? Create space and respect. You show that you value their autonomy, not just your ability to fix things. When you respond this way, you turn a potentially tense moment into one of trust, making your presence genuinely supportive rather than subtly imposing. Final habit. Subtle one-upmanship. It's surprisingly easy to fall into the habit of one-upping someone without even realizing it. They share a personal win, a promotion, a trip, or something they're proud of. And before the moment can fully land, you respond with a bigger story, a more impressive achievement, or a stronger experience. You might think you're connecting, bonding, or keeping the energy lively. But to them, it often feels competitive, like their joy is being overshadowed. Instead of feeling celebrated, they may feel unseen, diminished, or even subtly invalidated. Carl Jung would suggest that this behavior often comes from the shadow, unacknowledged insecurity quietly seeking dominance. One-upping is rarely intentional, but the effect is distancing and can slowly erode trust or warmth in a conversation. The fix is simple yet powerful. Fully celebrate the other person, first express genuine excitement, admiration, or appreciation, without immediately adding your own story. Let their achievement have the spotlight it deserves. Only after they feel recognized and valued should you contribute your own experience, if relevant. This small shift transforms conversations from competitive to genuinely supportive, leaving people feeling truly seen, appreciated, and comfortable in your presence. Final thought. These 5 habits are often unconscious. You may believe you're connecting, helping, or just sharing, but as Carl Jung taught, the shadow quietly influences how others experience you in ways you might not realize. Awareness is the first and most powerful step toward meaningful change. By noticing when you turn stories back to yourself, overanalyze intentions, complain without reflection, offer unsolicited advice, or engage in subtle one-upmanship, you can consciously shift your interactions. These small, mindful adjustments make conversations feel warmer, lighter, and more genuine. With presence and self-awareness, every relationship you touch can grow deeper, more meaningful, and truly connected, creating bonds that feel authentic and lasting.